All right, guys. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for that presentation. It was wonderful. At least it shows that you have started acquiring more knowledge as a team. So yes, that showed in both ways. However, I'll just be as straightforward as I can be. Now, generally, let me just put this out there. I think we really have to do the PowerPoint session. I think we'll do it this week, either Tuesday or when we conclude on the date, I'll send the schedule out. But we need to do the PowerPoint. I know some of us know PowerPoint, I might not join, but please try and join. You don't know what you'll learn in that session. But and in general, we also need to improve on our tools, right? So the tools is not only Azure DevOps or just like we said during the retro, as little as your Windows, PowerPoint slides, you need to find a way to play around it, and it also, for me, it also shows me that I might be wrong, I stand corrected, but it also shows me that I didn't see, when you're trying to do something, the hunger you have is what should be pushing you. I'm not seeing you guys utilizing your bodies with what I saw today. There's no utilization of your bodies, because I want to believe if your bodies were with you, I'm certain, it will be much more better. But however, really, sincerely, you guys have done a good job, right? But we need to really up our game as a team. So I'll start with Team Ruby. Presentation-wise, right? At the beginning, you were struggling to get your mojo. I'll try not to mention names, so it won't be as if I'm specifically picking on someone. I'm just saying it in general, right? So at the beginning, you're just trying to get your mojo. You were not, ready for this presentation. That's how I will put it. I know sometimes it's not really easy, especially at that beginning, but once you start, you should be able to, I didn't see any synergy as a team for that aspect. However, please note that there's a difference between synergy and collaboration. I liked the collaboration aspect because immediately, while, Ade was trying to share screen, there was already a conversation, people were jumping in, and all that. So it wasn't bad at all in that aspect of the collaboration. So I can still feel the team collaborating, but there's no synergy or, arrangement within your team. It was as if you did not plan for this meeting. And I remember vividly when I was trying to explain to especially Scrum Masters, don't feel familiarized with your ceremonies. Every ceremony, you have to prepare for it. Even when people give you content of what that ceremony should be, like, you're going to collect slides from your people. When they give you that content, you should be able to say, oh, you guys, you need to add this part, you need to add something, you need to add, just to have something more robust. I know you might not have the technical details, like I said, but by now you should be able to be listing out the things you feel should be in your slides. And if you do not know these things, you can always speak to your bodies. We are here. Even if your bodies are not ready at that moment, please call on your mentors for us to even chip in one or two things to help you out. Please, but by now you should be in sync with your bodies to help you change this show, right? By now, I'm expecting more from you guys. So aside even the startup, while presenting too, we can read. For Emerald, you open the slide and you virtually, I'm sorry, for Ruby rather, you open the slide and eventually you were reading. As you were reading that slide, we can read the thing. We expected that if you even mentioned one part, you should be able to expatiate on it, right? This is still Ruby that I'm talking to right now. When you read, you should be able to expatiate on what you read. You don't need to waste too much time, right? But we can read. If we wanted to read, you could just show us the slide and be pressing next, and we can read. So you are presenting, you should be presenting and telling us what you have done as a team, right? And I think another misuse of word was emergency estimation. By now, we should start learning our buzzwords. Like, for example, that was a change in business priority at that time, so to say, or something. I'm not sure emergency is really appropriate because it's actually allowed in Scrum. You can always change scope, in a minimum way, right? So in that aspect, you could have just done, sorry, excuse me. In that aspect, you could have just done written like business priorities changes and explain what that land page was about and all, and that you were able to commit it mid-sprint. You had started sprint before committing that, but I know with time we'll get to understand that part of the gist. But yeah, I already mentioned no synergy, although I could see collaboration. When Dan stepped in, I said I wasn't going to mention name, some of you stepped in, to make that. Then I really love the skills matrix. To you, you'll be like, oh, we've not filled it, we've not completed it. But that shows that one of the things you were taught within this week, you could show it to us already, even if it wasn't completed. And of course, we're expecting that by the next time you're doing this, every team member should have completed this, but really was a good one. I really was watching out to see if any team was going to show us the skills matrix, because we couldn't have preached from evening to evening. How do I say morning to evening? We couldn't have preached all day about why skills matrix is important at this time and all that, and we don't see anybody showing that. So yeah, that was a very good one coming from Ruby. Then also, there's something you need to know as a team. In as much as we want you to be truthful and let us know about everything going on, there's a way you can also cover. This is to the Scrum Masters too, because I'm actually still talking about the Scrum Master aspect of this. There's a way you can cover your team, externally, and chastise yourself inside. There was a focus at, oh, it was me and Daniel that did this. It was me and Daniel, me and this person that did this. At that point, I just expect, oh, we Scrum Masters did this. But at the back, you can go and chastise them. And, I'm just saying, this is my own thought, because you're talking to stakeholders, and me, stakeholder, I'm noting that, oh, okay, so it's only these two that are working within the team. And whereas others might have done something, but, not. So just try and shield your team. Yet we are not saying you should cover their bad habits. Please don't get me wrong. You should be able to escalate when things are going bad. You should be able to sack, just like Deji said earlier and all that. So yeah, I just thought I should put that out there. Then one of the things I expected the most that I didn't see was screenshots of a lot of things. You have learned a lot in these 2 weeks. Trust me. If I tell you to sit down and tell me about Scrum right now, you will be surprised what will be reeling out of you. You say, am I the one that knows this thing? You might not be confident yet. Your confidence level might not have grown to the extent of you feeling as if, but the things you have learned within these short 2 weeks, if I tell you to do a screenshot of everything you have done under your board, you'll be surprised what you have done. I was expecting to see your dashboard. I was expecting to see your wiki page. I was expecting to see your team chatter. I was expecting to see your board, your capacity planning, anything, just a screenshot of them, just to show us what you have done. The only thing I wasn't really expecting is your retro board, because we just did retro now, right? But you should be able to give us a snapshot of everything you have done within this sprint for us to be able to appreciate your work. You are coming here to sell yourself. You're selling yourself to stakeholders. So I expect more from you. I'm hoping that they should have captured more of this to be able to explain later. I really do not want to delve into the BAs, QAs, and DAs. I'll leave that for the G2 to delve into. But however, I should mention for the BAs of Ruby, I expected you to write out the number of stories each person did. You can just do a small table to say, okay, BA A, B, C, D, right? A did 2 stories this sprint and everything. Then between you guys, right? Between your team, you are just learning. The more you do, the better for you. So let's say you have 5 stories to write and you have 5 BAs and all of you picked one stories to do one story rather to write. That's fine. But if I were you as a BA, I'll go back in and write stories for the remaining. I'm still practicing. Right? So you should be doing even more than you are told to do. Now, your own remaining 4 that you are not assigned to do, of course, will not be put on the board for you to see, but you will know within yourself that, yes, I have done 5 stories within this sprint. It's a way of learning. If you don't put yourself out there, if you don't, improve yourself, nobody will for you. I need to see the hunger. I need to see people calling me to say, oh, I'm trying to reach my body, I wasn't able to reach the person. I need to see that, in the sense that, I'm not saying I'm not saying the bodies are not going to be there, but I'm just expecting a bit of saying, oh, I'm really hungry for this and I need somebody to help me with this. And then I can connect you if need be, or you can do the connection yourself. So I don't want to overflow the issue, and I'm going to be moving on. I'm going to be moving. Okay, I also wrote some other things like, I'm sorry, why are you laughing, guys? I can sense coordination of your team. Yeah, I said so. And reaching out to your bodies. Okay, and admin. Okay, I've said that. So I'll be going to Emerald. Emerald. So some of the things I said for Ruby also applies to you. And I hope you have picked them, because I don't want to really repeat some of those things. You know the things that Ruby did that I've mentioned that that you didn't do within yourself. So I'll try and just desist from that. Then I liked the beginning too, when Vivian was going, I don't want to mention it. How do I do this? The presenter was going left and right and she couldn't find her way. I like that Desiree, oh my God, I'm still just calling names. Please just take me as I am. I like that Desiree jumped in. Some other members of the team too jumped in to say, oh, do it this way, do it that way, and everything. And I felt that synergy I was trying to find, right? But you see, there's a way I perceive synergy as being different from collaboration. Do you know, if you have discussed, even if it's for 10 minutes before the meeting as a team, that, okay, this is how this meeting is going to run. As soon as I share my screen, when I speak on this, you do that demo within that 10 minutes to be sure that your screen can be shared. By then, this correcting we are doing, or your team was doing, you would have done it during that pre-starting of this meeting. You would have done that. And by the time the person comes here, you're on fire straight as a team. Oh, immediately I finish talking, I'll just call on the next person to talk. Even if the whole team is not talking this time around, it's just 3 or 4 people. You should have arranged it very well in the sense that this person, as soon as they're saying thank you, the next person is unmuting. As soon as the person is saying thank you, you don't even need to call. As you're saying thank you, the person knows. That's a bond, that's a synergy, that's you people working, sweetly as a team. So try and find that space. If you do not plan very well, I remember one of the sessions I took you. If you don't plan very well, you are not ready to be successful. Please still embrace the fact that we understand that we can fail fast and all, but at the same time, we do not set out to want to fail, or we do not have it at the back of our mind that anyways, if we fail, that should not be the tempo. The tempo should be us coming out with our best. Then when you come out with your best, we'll still be able to correct something. You become better. That's how we achieve success. That's how we achieve greatness. So please, I'm hoping that by the next, sprint planning, there'll be some. So I also say I like the updates and recorded successes. I like that the presenter, as she was reading it, she was explaining it with details. I really like that part. And I also like that you explained that explanation. It shows that you were prepared, at least for your own part of the session. It shows preparation to me, for your own part of the slides. Then I like the screenshot of the dashboard that you pulled. I like the metrics that you put. That was fantastic too, even if, we are just getting to understand metrics and all those things. But you putting it there and even explaining just a bit, it was something. I love that you put impediments too. And I loved, some of the screenshots, but I was still looking for a lot of screenshots. But kudos on that part of the work you did. It was really good to see that. But we expected more screenshots. There are lots of things that you've been taking through. This, even your mirror board, all those things, you can just give it. The fact that you have done it in sprint 1 doesn't mean you should abandon it for the next sprint. We are not teaching you to dump it. All these things happen within a sprint. We are teaching you to know it and keep using it sprint on sprint. So because I have taught you this today and have left it, doesn't mean that you will not use it in the next sprint. It's necessary for the coming sprint. It's for you to, push forward. Then what else? Your bodies, you need to reach them. I've mentioned that too. You need to. Alrighty, for the BAs, that's Bolu's show for the BAs anyways, but I really love the fact that you put a process map there and wireframes, though I expected more, right? I expected more of the wireframes, not really the process map. I know the process map can take you a while, but I was really, really happy. Maybe Bolu can see that process map now and say, no, you didn't put this and this. She can do that part. But from what I can view, from what you had in the process map, with that, it was very fantastic that you even had a process map to put there. It was really good to see that. And for the DAs too, yeah, I like that you spoke about the lookup and the Tableau and all that. That was beautiful too. And lastly, for the QAs, I am not impressed for the QAs because that means you did not synchronize with your team. And now I am not holding it against the QA, I'm holding it against the Scrum Master, or I'm holding it against the team as a whole. You should have found a way to get their slides and merge it to the team, because I'm judging you based on what I'm seeing on your screen, not just only what you are reading, but both what you're saying and what I'm seeing on your screen. So whether you had screenshots or anything in your screen, you didn't give us that chance to appreciate it. So you have to find a way to always, you see guys, if I want to just put this there before I round off, it's just that, you see this thing, if you want to leave it to Sunday to do it, you will never achieve it. You know that on Sunday, so time is your demo. You can give a timeline that by so time on Saturday, 6 p.m., all slides should be in. So what you need to do is now be refining that slides to be ready for the demo, but not getting the slides on Saturday, or on Sunday, trying to put it together. Even the person doing it will be getting frustrated. There will be more disconnection within the team. There will be rifts. There will be, you know, but if you have taken your time to add as much as you can, now, if you now want to be adding one or two things, you know, that's still fine, but not that you are not ready. It showed no readiness at all as a team and all. So we need to do better. But at the same time, please, I'm not taking it out that it's not, I'm sure, I don't want to believe the effort you'd have used to even get to this stage. I'm sure you'd have put in a lot of effort to get into this, to achieve this. So that was still fantastic, but we can do better as a team. Namaste. Mr. DG or Boli, do you want to go? Wow. Admin at Prepager, do you want to go? Okay.
Okay, I'm not sure I've got something, but yeah, but that was really, really a lot. Thank you so much for allowing me. To be honest, I don't know what I'm here to say. Actually, you just stole my thunder, actually. So, but well done. That was good. Yeah, but yeah, I might go. Yeah, I might touch base on some other things as well that are really, really important as well. So 1 minute, let me go back to my notes. Where did I? So 1 minute. Okay, there you go. Okay. All right. Okay. One, yeah. The first thing that appear on your screen, Ruby team, actually, aside from presentation, which allow me has already touched base on that. Eventually, I thought that color was off, but that presentation was not. It's not bad. I like the white background, which is good actually. In these days, I'm looking into those white now because I've already been also spoken to, even in some other presentation, that having to do presentation on white and background is good, because some people you need to consider them in terms of colors as well, all those visually impaired people and everything. So having a white background sometimes is what people are using more often right now anyway, but that's okay. So yeah, so one thing is the question, what is a scope creep actually, right? So initially I wanted to kind of disagree with myself to say, what happened within your team was that a scope creep, or you guys did not actually envisage that you have to consider this particular key part of the application, right? Which is the landing page or the home page. This is very, very important. You didn't consider that, but yeah, having done a little research as well, I thought that could be an element of scope creep because you didn't prioritize it properly, and because of that, the scope, not the scope of the application, not the scope of the project or the product, is the scope that you've kind of prioritized for your sprint, right, will have increased. So I think a story crept in anyway. So I can agree on that basis that, yeah, the landing page became a scope that actually cropped into your sprint anyway. That's fine. So another thing, I was discussing with someone today, one of your BA mentors, and he was asking me what is the difference between the landing page and the home page. It was a really intense discussion. At the point I thought, what is the difference between a landing page and a home page? Maybe I will leave you. So I'll tell you what we now agreed. So I just said, okay, this is my viewpoint. He kind of lectured me on that one as well to say, okay, this is what it means. Like, so landing page is a page that you land on when there's a link that's sent to you, actually. So when someone said, okay, this page should work on that. So landing page is like you do a campaign and they click on the page, the pages will be page that you go into is your landing page anyway. And I kind of summarized it to say, okay, landing page is a page that you landed on. I said, okay, I will agree with that. So, but one thing that he said is like, your landing page can be your own page, but necessarily does not mean that your own page is your landing page anyway. So that's one thing. So basically every page on your own page could be a landing page based on how you go into there, but your own page is that significant page that serves as your entry page. Yeah, for a BA, that is sometimes where your process map will start from, because that is the place when people say www prepmedia.com or www.gospel. That is the page that we serve as the home page. Or if you go to Google or Facebook, their home page actually. That is the page, the main page for the application actually. So that is one. So I've actually explained the score creep and everything like that. So so then another thing is, okay, the accomplishment, that was good as well. So one thing I want to also say, presentation skill. Do not present on internet, on a document on internet. It's not good, not advisable, right? Ensure that you download the document. Both of you guys actually did that mistake, I think. So make sure. Hello. Okay, make sure you download the document. Don't go on www and start presenting from there anyway. So the same way, also, even if the document is on SharePoint, make sure you download it, right? Because your network can go down or it can be slow and everything. Don't trust the internet. Download it, right? And then use it to kind of present. That's one thing I want to say. Also, I think Olawumi already mentioned the emergency estimation. Anyway, I will skip that for now. So, okay. There's something I want to say about the tax. I will say that one later, and also how tomorrow should be planned. I'll put that aside. So, okay, going from that, the BA, Olawumi spoke about that. To be honest, I'm impressed. Within 1 week, what you've done actually. So pat yourself at the back. In terms of the wireframe, is a good start on that one. Even before I think it's actually good actually from that wireframe. Though I know that I put a note in there that I was expecting you to also present the process map, which I did not see actually. But fortunately for me, right, the Emirate actually presented that. So, but Ruby team, if you have done that, please in the next meeting that we're going to have, make sure that you kind of present that. And also even it's something that I want to see every week. So I want to see, because by showing that you get feedback as well. So that's one thing I can say. So, and also the user story, don't put a few, put all the user stories that you've done actually, because one thing is going to happen that I've got a lot of some mentors here and also the bodies. They will look at it and say, sometimes we just kind of jump at you quickly, right? So for instance, now on Mobola, actually Adenekon, right? So one thing that I can say, though, I know different people have got different ways of writing the user story or acceptance criteria, right? So from what you've done, like the story 444, right? So one thing I can say is like, as a rule of thumb, right? Your giving should just be a precondition, right? You should not have any actions in that. If you're doing some actions, for me, I will put those actions in the when. I know some people will say, oh, as long as you are not where you are going to, then the giving should be a precondition. For me, your giving should be navigations and preconditions on where you want to go. So when you start to say, I click on profile icon, for me, I'll put that in a when clause. Well, don't take it as golden, but that's what I would say as a feedback anyway. So not like what you've written is fine. It doesn't, even developers can still kind of go with this and write what they need to write. It's got everything that is needed, but I just want to give that as a form of feedback to say, if you are clueless or you don't know what to do on, so giving, as long as you are doing some actions, it just makes sense to put in a when clause. Do you get it now for people that are starting? But it's not like if you put everything. I think I went for an interview before. Someone was asking me that, okay, if you put all your acceptance criteria in a given and you don't have a when, you don't have it then, that will not, it will not add anything. It will still be okay anyway, but you are not following the industry standard. That's what it means anyway. But developer will still pick you up and do whatever they want to do with it. And even that also applies to the the keywords as well. They will still pick it up and they will see test it as well. Even they might even copy and paste it and put in their automation test. It will still work as well. But it's only that you are not following the industry standard of how a given should be a precondition, a when should be your actions, and a then should be your assertion, what you are trying to verify, what you are trying to do, or how you want to verify those things. So that's one that I want to kind of verify. But that is good. Omobola, if you're the one that wrote this particular test acceptance criteria, is fine. On Salome one as well. So this is also good as well. I think this is brilliant. I can see where on this one, the 4, 4, 5, 6, you put the when clause. This is what I want. When I log in, then you put all things that you need to do for the when, for that particular when clause, and then your then assertion is good. So which I think is brilliant. So, and you've got 2 scenarios in there, which is brilliant. You are using scenarios now and with the title of those scenarios, which is good actually. So, and the only thing I can say is that scenario 2, you don't need to put equal to, or scenario 1 is got scenario 2 colon, and you can put that. But well done, that is brilliant. And with additional information at the bottom. To be honest, this is good. Even for you to have done it in this particular one week or two, that's good. And I like the title as well. I'm not a fan of someone that will write a title as a sentence. Do you get that? A title should be a title, right? Like take it as if you are writing an essay and they ask you to write a title. A title should not be like I've seen some people writing a title, for instance, the keywords, and you are writing your title of your feature file, you are writing as a user, blah, blah, and it's becoming like 10 words or 20 words or 10, I don't even know. That is not a title. A title should be a title. Take it as English, right? That if I want to write a title, even as a rule of thumb, how many words are you supposed to have in a title? Once it's more than 7 or 8 words, for me, I think it's no longer a title, it's a paragraph you are writing, or sentence, actually. So, but I know I've seen it at work as well. When people write a title, it's long and everything. I don't buy that anyway. But so, yeah. So that is one. Yeah, keyway. Okay, you said, okay, you wrote test cases for yeah. I really want to see those. That's why I appreciate what the BAs have done at the top, right? So even for you as well, maybe you don't know that you need to be putting that. You need to shine. You need to show. I need to see all these test cases that you've written. Do you get it now? And even yeah, even as little as showing your Visual Studio. I don't want to assume that all of you have got Visual Studio installed. Do you get now? I want to see what individual person have done. That is fine. So your challenge is to say, okay, you're not able to carry out your execution, the execution of your automation test. I don't think that's a challenge. It normally happens at work as well. In a new project, you for developers to finish that, they might not even do anything within 4 sprints actually, because that's why people create sprint 0 AI. So even the issue that we have, sprint 0 is so short, one week actually. So that's fine. But sprint 0 is where developers try to put every environment, try to do everything. It might take a while. Sprint 0 might take 2 weeks or 3 weeks, something like that. But this is a fast-paced environment, and let's just appreciate that as well. But one thing I can say is, like, even though you are not able to do your automation in the first sprint, ensure that you cover your manual testing, right? And then after that, your automation will be your tech debt, right? And now question is to the keywords and even BS, and yeah, maybe question that you need to answer is that, what is a tech debt? I want to see that. I want to see how you guys are going to address that. Or when you say tech debt, what is a tech debt, right? Tech is TECH and debt is DEBT. What is a tech debt? And as a Scrum Master, how do you address that, right? Then also, yeah, in keywords, what exactly is your tech debt actually? What can actually cause a tech debt? So I really want to see that in your next answer or your next presentation, right? So that's that. So yeah, going forward from that, so and yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, I think yeah. I can see your test cases, right? You put some test cases there. Apologies, I'm actually seeing those ones as well. So yeah, test cases, which I think is good. So, and yeah, that is fine. The fact that you even went ahead to write it in a given when, then it's also good, actually, brilliant, actually, I can say. And also the acceptance criteria, that is also brilliant. Well done for that. So one thing I want you to do, right, because you guys now are using tester one, okay, put your tag in there, right? Add the tag to your test case to say this person is the one that is responsible for this particular test case. That's one way to do, actually. Put a tag. You can see at the top of your screen there, say add tag. You put your name on your test cases so that it shows who is working on that, okay? That is for the keyway to add tag. So then, okay, so I'm moving on from there, the automation test cases, yeah. So that is good that you've started, which is fine, okay? So I can say that you've not got any feature. This is just like a vanilla, you just got everything installed. Well done for that. One thing I'm going to explain what I need from you guys in a moment, actually going forward in this particular sprint anyway, in terms of automation. DA, wow. I know there's a lot of confusion, but I thought I've resolved the confusion. You guys you need to work together with your Scrum Master, actually. So, even your feedback was brilliant, actually. It will have been very, very good if you actually kind of work with your Scrum Master and put this together into their slide. To be honest, you will have shown as well, because the details of your presentation, of your feedback was really, really awesome. So what I'm also going to say now, yeah, is now you said you worked on Excel, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, Tableau, import data, manipulative design, then also formula in Tableau, reporting on Tableau, installation of SQL application, SQL servers and everything. So yeah, I want to see those stories in Azure DevOps. For the next sprint, for the next demo you're going to have next Sunday, I want to see screenshot of everybody saying, yeah, VLOOKUP, yeah, done. And HLOOKUP, yeah. You create this one as different stories, right? And you put them there. So with that, you are actually saying that you know how to import data from Excel. Yeah. Let us now assume that everybody that attended the meeting knows how to do it. But I am going to take you as, yeah, I'm going to use Azure DevOps as your accountability partner to do that. Okay. Christina, quickly, you got your answer quickly.
Yeah, sorry, I wanted to tell you that we already put some of those stories in on okay. This thing already.
Yeah, I want to see them in the PowerPoint presentation that the Scrum Master are presenting. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so let's put the screenshot there, right, on everything. Like, for instance, now from what you are seeing right now, I want, it might be like each one of you will have like 7 different screens for what they are doing and everything. To be honest, I'm really, really impressed, because at the end of this program, no one that will go into like a DA for this. I'm really, really impressed, because no one would now say, I didn't do anything. This program is not theoretical, it's practical, right? And I don't believe in just going, maybe I should not have gone to school, actually, because looking back, I said, you don't even to go to school for you to do the course that we are doing here. And this is what you do at work, actually, to be honest, scrap unit, actually. So to be, but I want it to be as practical as possible. If I'm going to be working as a DA, what am I going to be? This are this, actually. So, but I want to be sure that you are actually doing them. That's why I want you to bring this one on. Okay. Quickly, because of my time, Emerald. So yeah, so aside from the quick what happened before we start, but that is fine. So in terms of updates, so yeah, team collaboration, clarity on your role, which I think is fine. So progress on the board. So I want to see those boards as well. I think Olawumi already mentioned that. So okay, team communication, that is fine. So collaboration within the team or corporation, where we'll see that anyway. Then improve daily stand-up meetings. So I have not seen that, because sometimes when I join the daily stand-up, no one is there. We have to wait for like 10 or 15 minutes for you guys to start. So maybe in the next meeting, I'm going to tell my team not to, yeah, the meeting will start, you will start it, and you start, right? So at this point, we want to kind of leave you to see what you're going to do, even though some of us might be there just looking. If you don't start the meeting, we will not start. Do you get it now? Because you need to take ownership. But what's going to happen? Let's take it right now. I also will speak to the team whether yeah. So we're going to have a dedicated team, like maybe Monday, this team will start, so that then the next one, let's just use that way. Okay, I can even give you right now, Monday, there's no sprint, there's no daily stand-up. Okay, so Thursday, Tuesday, Emerald will start, then Wednesday, Ruby will start. On Thursday, quickly, let me say, on Thursday, there will not be any meeting. So, yeah, and admin, please note also, there will not be any meeting. Even if you have to have a meeting, you have to be 10 to 11 just to catch up anyway, because there are going to be introduction of the new program that we're doing for general team. So, of course, you are also advised to attend 8 to 9 o'clock. We are going to kind of talk about the next internship program. Actually, some of you guys will be there as well, maybe as bodies if you want to join the advance. So maybe let's say on Friday or on Sunday, I'll be talking about the advance as well. What is in for you after you finish your program? So, and because if you join the advance, then you'll be able to come back again onto this program to be bodies and also to learn more as well. So and to be honest, join the Thursday one, there are a lot of programs that we're bringing. I think it's even up to like 7 or 8 now, actually. So we got new tutors coming in because of what we are doing. So let me leave down for now. Thursday is that. So just to tell you that on Tuesday, Emerald starts first, and then Wednesday, Ruby will start first, actually. And you just need to start your sprint daily stand-up. You don't need to wait for any of the mentors to start anyway. So, but we would be taking note who did not come on time anyway. So, okay, all right, cool, that is fine. Then also your board, Emerald, is fine. So I've got another task for you, which I'm going to talk about. It's called swim lanes, actually. Hopefully your mentors already told you how to do that, but if not, that's fine. I like your cards on your board. That's why I want to see the Ruby's board as well. The card is good. I like the details on the cards. You got the state, and the state is also corresponding with the swim columns as well, which I think you've done it very well, actually. Well done for that, actually, which is brilliant. And also you've added, created, and everything. One thing that I can ask you to add is like, who is the BA working on the story? Who is the QA working on the story? Who is the developer working on the story? You can also add that one to the board as well. I'm going to assume that you know how to do those. So I want to see that in the next sprint, okay, when you display it. So you need to add another column on your board, or on the card on your board, to say who is this QA, who is the BA, who is it. So that I need to see that as well. But well done on that one. So yeah, work overview, or yeah, I think you've already started anyway. You've kind of said, okay, in terms of what you finished last sprint and what you are also committing to this particular sprint. So, and that is fine. It shows that you've not completed any. To be honest, it's okay, right? So, because in some cases, yeah, you might not complete anything in sprint 0 or in sprint 1, or maybe then sprint 2, you catch up, actually, because that is, yeah, as you know from Tuxman theory, right? You are still storming, yeah, before you start to perform. You don't need to beat yourself around the bush if you do not complete anything that you plan to complete. But I'm expecting this particular sprint for you to complete stories. Actually, do you get it now? For you to kind of get your hand on things and do. So this particular sprint is very, very important for everyone. So yeah, so let's take that. So okay, estimation workshop, all the workshop, that also is fine. And also from the BA point of view, so yeah, what you've done, yeah, experience, yeah, tremendous progress. That is good as well. Improve the pace of your sprint user stories, better user story and assessment criteria. So I know the mentors has been doing terrific work to align you to what you need to do, which I think is good. And that is also showing on your stories as well. So which I think is really, really good as well. So everything that you've learned, you need to put it in practice as well. So gap analysis, have you actually done it as well, to be honest? Because what happened in the, what's it called, in the Ruby, it's because you've not actually analyzed the gap. If you already know that there's a particular story is missing, that's what you don't like. It's not enough to just do this theory to say gap analysis. Have you used it? You are opportunity to use all these techniques as in this particular platform. Use them, right? So that is why you are here. Okay. So yeah, Artifacts. I like how you presented your wireframe. Brilliant, to be honest. Put everything together in one slide and show that, which is really brilliant. Well done. I'm impressed. One thing I want to say, I want to know who actually is doing what. So sometimes it's easy to put everything in your group. So for the next week, I want to see who does what. So I'm going to give you some tact anyway. So the process map also, brilliant. I can see swim lanes as well, what the instructor should do and what the system should do. And then it goes to the end. So, but yeah, one thing I want to say also, the last part, your arrow is clashing. You have arrow moving to the end and also coming back. The arrow is coming back, and you need to look at the last part, the green end. Okay. Unfortunately, maybe I should even share my screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. So, but okay, all right. So you guys actually know anyway. So, so no, I think, hold on. Let me even share the screen so that you can actually get this. Okay, so if you can see my screen, right, this bit, right, it's not really great actually. So this arrow should go to the end, right? Not like coming back actually. So that is kind of like a mistake there anyway. So that is fine. So then the same way here as well, right? This is not really good actually. So it's like, what is this one coming from? Request. So actually, so everything should kind of like start from a start anyway. So that's fine. So then also this diamond is an if statement, okay? So in most cases, you put the if statement here. If it's yes, it goes out. If it's no, where is it going? Right. So for instance, I don't see that. Maybe this one should go to the inside, but you need to look into that. I want to see this wireframe again, but to be honest, it is a good start. Okay, it's a really good start. The same way here, an if statement. Okay, you have one arrow coming in as a rule of thumb, and you should have two arrows coming out, right? One is like if it's yes, one is like if it's no. If you only have one arrow coming out of a diamond, then it's not. It should be a rectangle. Do you get it now? So that's one thing you need to look into, right? To say, am I using the right symbol for my process map? Do you get it now? And if you are not using the right symbol, then something is wrong. Okay, but so that's what so you need. I think you are missing that actually. So to see, so those diamonds, you need to look into that. So this is good. You are actually using a sub process actually, which I think is fine. I'm going to assume that you know what to do. So as a sub process, expand. So you need to actually create this one now, which is a sub process. What process is that, right? So maybe the admission process is a sub process. Do you get it now? Maybe it might also be in there. One thing I want you to look into for the next time, for this sprint, this applies to all the BAs, right? I want to have end-to-end overview of end-to-end process map of your project, right? So the product that's given to you, student journey, was the end-to-end process map. So instructor journey was the end-to-end process map. It could be just simple using the sub-process, right? Because that is really important. You need to know all the sub-processes. Then after that, you can start breaking them down to say, oh, registration is a sub-process, right? Login could be a sub-process. Do you get it now? And then instead of, then later you can now start based on your story. Each one of them will not be a sub-process where you will not break down. Admission process could be, So I would say this is just kind of normal example for, I don't know what this is for anyway, but we're done for this one. I think this is really brilliant. So that's good. So, okay, I'm going to stop sharing because, okay, team chatter is good as well. Well done. So impediment from, one thing I can say, 3 active B, I've already addressed some of this one. Escalate it to the Scrum Master. But one thing I also want to say, 3 active BA is more than enough, please. 3 active BAs they are more than enough, to be honest. So that's why we kind of generally put a lot of people into the team, because we know some people will not be active. You only need 1 BA in a team, to be honest. 1 active BA is enough. In a Scrum team, you will not have more than 1. So even that you have 3, it's just like, some people have got different things to do and everything. So we kind of, yeah. And even in the office, if you ask your mentors or anyone, so they will be writing like at least maybe 3 or 4 stories in a day. Do you get it now? So depending on how complex that story is. So technically, if you are writing 1, and 4 of you are writing 4, so you are actually doing the work of a BA and in a real environment anyway. So 3 BAs, to be honest, congratulations, you are more than enough actually. So, but that is why I really don't like when people are not active, because they affect the morale of the other people, right? Even though if you have only 2 BAs and they are active, and the person knows that it's only 2 BAs, they get encouraged. But when you have like 10 BAs, right, and only 3 are active, it becomes an issue. That is what you are seeing, right? So, and please escalate it to the team, to the admin, right? Please let them know any BA that's not active, put their names there, that so person, you are not active, by next week, you're going to be removed, right? So let them know. We have to do the cleanup right now before next week. Yeah. So that this time around, we only get active people. Bear in mind, some people already gone. They've not told you. So even if you have 3 people, we know the 2 people you have. So this applies to everybody. Ensure that you get your team kind of in shape. Okay, the DA, right? This is good as well. To be honest, the update is brilliant. You talk about what you did, and also the Tableau, Excel, HLOOKUP. Yeah, this is brilliant. I'm going to assume that you've also got them on Azure DevOps. I want to see them. I want to see how this is moving on Azure DevOps as well, even though I like the screenshot that you put, and also the steps as well. So which I think is good. Another thing for those guys that your role are technical, like a DA, a BA, not DA and keywords, I want to also get steps on how you've done them, right? Which means that, for instance, at a DA, I want to install SSS MS, which is SQL Server Management Studio. What step did you take, right? I want you to put in your stories, right? Even if you want to put a screenshot like what Enola actually put there on your story in your Azure DevOps, I want to see them. I want to see the story, so that then eventually you put them in the demo. So which is fun. Kyle, I think okay, well, everyone in this particular QA team, allow me already giving a feedback on that one. Having said that, you have not done badly, unless that you need to work with your Scrum Masters anyway. So you've kind of got hang of what you've done in automation, actually, which is brilliant as well. So, but I want to see the screenshot as well, to be honest. But well done. I can even the layout of what you put in there. I'm impressed, to be honest, which I think is good. From what I can see, you've kind of laid out the process to automate a framework, right? Even if you go for an interview and you talk about this, actually, so I think you're going to actually get the job, right? So because this actually laid out the process that you should go through anyway, but I want to see more anyway. So yeah, so that is that. One thing that you also need to look into, Kayode, is that pronunciation of Azure. At the point you got it right, but before then you kind of got it a little wrong. Okay, that is that. Now let me move into the task for this particular week. Okay, so and I want maybe I should stop sharing. I should stop recording and record this one.